Let us pray. Father, it's again that we come to you. We thank you for this day. I know it's wet and drizzly outside, but we know it's a day that you've made, and we rejoice and be glad in it. Father, I pray that you be with us as we go into the business hour of the county meeting here. Father, I pray that you lead, guide, direct. Father, Lord, watch over us. Help us to do that, Lord, in a way that's pleasing in your sight. Father, today we pray. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, item number 2 is approve the minutes of the October 13th, 2015 regular meeting. As written. I hear a motion to approve these minutes.
I've read them, I approve them.
I hear a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Item number 3, approve invoices over $4,500.
We've had some invoices over $4,500, but they were everyday, monthly invoices like Blue Cross Blue Shield, the typical housekeeping invoices.
That it?
That's it.
Earl?
Make a motion, we approve no invoices.
Item number 4, we have a variance request from Terry and Helen Stewart. This is kind of unusual. It's 5 inches from the property line, but they're building it back on a existing slab, and they have a letter from their neighbor, notarized and the whole bit, so I don't see anything wrong with it, so I make a motion to approve this.
Let us read it all. Neighbor ain't got a problem with it, I don't. Second motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, item number 5, department heads, update their departments. Who wants to get up and start? Mike, Robert, Graham.
Good evening. During the month of September,
Do we know what department we are hearing and have people announce who they are, please?
Robert Graham, EMA Director. Go.
Director of EMA, 911, Fire, EMS. I want to report on the call volume from the 911 center. We had a total of 6,665 calls came into the 911 center. Out of those, there were 1,980 that were actually 911 emergency calls. Law enforcement responded to 1,722 of those calls. EMS responded to 343. And out of those 343 calls, 47 were out-of-town transfers during the month of September. Between EMA, EMS, Fire, and Rescue, we accumulated approximately 440 hours of in-service training during the month of September. Conducted a search over a 2-day period on October the 9th and 10th for a missing hunter in the Rock Creek area. Search involved not only the fire department volunteers and some paid personnel, but also several members of the Fannin County Sheriff's Department, Department of Natural Resource. Actually, on Saturday, I believe they had 8 officers up there assisting us. The Georgia State Patrol helicopter with their forward-looking infrared camera. A representative from the Georgia Emergency Management Agency. Our CERT team provided refreshments on Friday evening and also provided lunch for the rescue workers on Saturday. And Union County Fire Department assisted in it also. Part of the hours for the in-service training included a GEMA crash victim extrication course, which is a 2-day course to train on using the equipment on the rescue trucks to remove victims from crashes. Also, we had a ACLS, or Advanced Cardiac Life Support course in the month. CERT team held their annual expo at Home Depot on October the 3rd, along with the fire department. We displayed some fire trucks and equipment there too. The CERT team and the EMS assisted the health department in the food drive on October the 1st at Farmers Market. And we held our kickoff meeting for the hazard mitigation plan on October 13th and had about 20 people present for that from various agencies. Most of our equipment has already been purchased, and we've received most of it from the trauma grant that we received that we spoke of last time. And we also have a team called the DART teams. It's actually a regional disaster assistance response team through EMS, whereby we train certain members of our team and have an agreement with the other 16 counties in our area that if there's a disaster in one particular area of our region, we'll send an ambulance with this trained crew to assist in the disaster. And also, in return for that, we have received some rescue equipment and backpacks and stuff to use on that ambulance. We had some training last month. We had about 6 people take the DART training last month, and we've got another class coming up this month that the remainder of the members will be going to. And that's got it. Y'all have any questions?
What's the status on the truck? The volunteers, we
We have made plans to go pick it up on, we're going to be there on November the 12th and drive it back. We should have it back here by Friday evening. We're leaving on Thursday morning early.
okay.
All arranged. Ready to
Take anybody and leave them?
go. Well, we thought about it. I guess we'll bring everybody back with us.
What's our, how's our ambulances holding up, Robert?
They're doing pretty good right now. We're probably going to, we put in the budget, which I'll discuss at the next meeting, but we did put in the budget for a new one for this next year. But we're in pretty good shape right now. It's going to be time for one. If we order one at the first of the year, it usually takes about 5 to 6 months to get it. So,
About October, but we're getting it in.
we should have it by May, June, I would think, yeah. Assuming we can order it.
Is that a rebox on a new chassis or?
Actually, what I put in for was another remount. We'll use one of our trucks to take it and just get a new chassis put under it. They go through it and redo it completely. Pretty much
Most
just
of our
like new.
boxes have you update lights and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, they, box, usually we can remount them 3 to 4 times depending on how they're treated. And our guys seem to be treating them pretty good because we've had real good luck with remounts.
All right. Anything else?
How many of them are close to needing complete beds? You got any idea?
Probably, I'm guessing probably 2 within the next 2 to 3 years. We'll need the beds for them.
That's all I have.
All right, thanks.
Thank y'all.
Mike, would you like to get up?
Yeah.
Road department.
Let me beat Larry.
Better give your name and ranks if you'll know who you are.
Mike Collis, Fannin County Road Department. Gave Mr. Sowersby a copy. Maybe should have given each one of you a little more detail of what we've done for the past month here. But basically, to give you an overview, we finished up our paving season. Unless y'all come up with a little more money, we'll certainly buy more asphalt. But for the most part, we paved Cox Road and Laurel Springs, and that, unless it's like I say, unless we have some little patching to do. But other than that, our paving season's done. And once that has officially been announced that it is done for the year, we'll clean up all the equipment. We've done got tar removal stuff. We'll clean everything up, service it, have it ready to go for next spring. Backhoes have been busy, cleaning out ditches and replacing pipe and cleaning some pipe out. We're able on some occasions. Ross has been real good to We've got a rig that hooks onto a fire hose. We can save a lot of culverts just by cleaning them out. It's just a little attachment that goes to a fire hose. And it routes through and cleans them out real good, so that's a big help there. A lot of savings. We've got the crew working on the new site for the new 911 center and the fire station at Windy Ridge. They've got quite a bit of the trees cleared. We've got silk fence up and such as that, the BMPs and that. As far as I know, all the utilities have been notified, the water, all that is in the works. I know I seen one quote from the power company, I believe, to put the poles and get all that. But all the utilities are in the process of being planned for installation. Now that it's finally cooling off a little bit, we've got a little better handle on the grass mowing. And you were talking about that a minute ago, but I will take just a second here to thank each one of you for getting us the side mowers. It's been a super help. It has really made a difference in the calls this year. We were able to get them back in July, around the 1st of July. We got those two, and it's been a huge help to keep the calls down as far as the side roads, coming into the main roads and that, and the driveways and such. So hopefully we can get everything cleaned up, and the mowers will keep going around and get everything cleaned up. And by next spring, we'll be able to start out fresh, and we'll have an actual fleet to start out with. And I think they're really going to make a difference. So we appreciate that. Scrapes, and I almost hate to say this, but I'll jinx myself short up, but the scrapes have kind of caught up on the worst spots. We're kind of back to just scraping here and there. We're not just out there scraping to be scraping, especially this time of year. It's not a good idea to tear it up and then it freeze and thaw and all that. So we're just kind of on a as-needed basis, but we all know a good rain will take care of that and put us in the hole. But right now we're pretty well caught up. Well, they are still scraping, but just not on the as hardcore basis as we have been. We're not paving in the rainy days. The chipping crews chipped up several dangerous trees leaning out over the road and that, so they've done a good job with that, keeping all that cleared up. They've done a little bit of work down at Homeboy Park and cleaned a tree or two up down there, so been busy with that. And when the trucks are not paving, they're hauling gravel, especially where they've been scraping. So, other than that, that's pretty much it. Like I say, you do have a little more detail. It would take a lot of time to go through each road and all that, but you have that in front of you. So,
Mike, you mentioned chipping a while ago. As most of you guys know, they had a terrible accident yesterday at Tri-State. Just one gentleman, so we need to sit those guys down and go over it one more time.
that was our safety meeting this morning. We have a safety meeting every Tuesday morning, and that's what he talked on this morning. Accidents are accidents, but we certainly want to do everything we can to prevent it. So.
How the two new tractors working out? They ain't been no much maintenance to do to them.
They've been a couple of issues, but we just took them back down there. We had a pin to break in one just the other day, but it was a warranty issue. Everything that's been done, it's been a warranty thing, and they took care of. It's just what you really consider minor stuff. So.
Good deal.
Mr. Johnson?
They ready to take the glass out, the windows?
I was gonna say,
How is our spreader? Is it
the
in
paper,
good shape? Yeah.
it's getting some age on it. We've had to replace some electrical stuff on it now. I mean, as far as it working, it's still working, doing fine, but it is getting time to maybe upgrade a little bit. I mean, I know that it's an expensive item, but we did, I think, put in the budget for next year to maybe upgrade, not buy a new one, but to upgrade from where we're at. So.
Mr. Johnson, what would one cost? These ones?
I mean, you can get a refurbished and rotate around 150 to 175,000 to where new is 340.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it would be actually.
I think we can go with the track machine next time, with all these hills they pave around here. I think the track machine be a lot more feasible for the type paving they're having to do around here rather than road tires. If they ever pave with a track machine, they'll never go back to road tires.
You obviously know more about that than I do, so you do a lot more. But, yeah, I mean, we do need to consider
Because it's what, 12, 14,
14.
14 years old?
Yeah. We're gonna get into higher, right now, we're not in too bad a money bracket as far as what we're having replaced, but the longer we go, it's gonna, higher items is more expensive, so something to consider.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.
Okay, who wants to be next?
Go ahead.
Stallions.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John Scalera, the new director of Fannin County Parks and Rec. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, sir.
The only thing, I've been here just under a month now, just making a couple assessments of the park. We've started a couple cleanup projects in the park, just trying to declutter a little bit of mess and everything, getting that out there. The first couple weeks I was here, I tried to put together a rental policy and procedure because I don't think before that the rec department had anything in place, anything concise. Everything pretty seemed vague to the point where rentals of pavilions and horseshoe band weren't being taken care of, or at least with proper timing with payments. So everything, I submitted something to Chairman Simons for the commissioners to review, see what you guys like what I put out there. Other than that, just reviewing the budget going into 2016. There's a couple revisions that need to be made to it, but other than that, that's all I have.
Them two revisions that you cut in the budget, didn't you cut it?
Just cut it right down the middle.
Oh, really?
Not quite.
Yeah. I know.
Commissioner Johnson, we have anything?
Not really increasing.
Yeah.
Is there anything you need from us as far as,
No, everything's going well. Just still getting settled in with everything. My main concern right now is just cleaning up the park. Again, getting out into the community. I met with Jan with the Chamber of Commerce a couple weeks ago. I think getting on the same page with the chamber is going to definitely be beneficial for the recreation department and the county.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Nicholson, excuse me, Keith.
I'm Keith Nicholson. I'm the building inspector over the inspections department. Things have been busy. County's growing, residential homes especially. Last month, during the month of September, we issued 29 certificate of occupancies, or 24. 24 COs were written last month. We made 27 framing inspections, and we checked footers for 29 other projects. Made a total of 34 site evaluations, and I completed 93 electrical inspections last month. I'll tell you, just last week how busy we've been. We went to 70 different sites in 1 week throughout the county. We're staying on top of everything. It's rare that anybody even has to wait a day usually. Whatever's called in, we jump right on top of it. The way I look at it, as long as these contractors are busy, we've got a job. So we try to keep up with everything that they need. Everything seems to be going real well in our department. As far as I know, we got everything we need.
Mr. Sophie?
glad to hear you're that busy.
This helps everybody.
Thanks, Keith. Somebody got to want to go. Marie?
I'm Marie Woody, Fannin County Land Development. I'm going to report on the building permits. We've had 13 new homes this month. 3 sheds, 3 garages, 8 miscellaneous, 8 power only, 2 mobile homes, no commercial, and year-to-date new homes is 161. And I have a copy for each one of y'all, so you can have a copy of it so you can read over it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions?
Any questions? Commissioner Dawson?
No.
Thanks, Maria. Claire, you want to be next?
Claire Barton, Fannin County Public Library. October has been pretty much business as usual. We've had an average of 150 to 200 visits per day on weekdays. We closed early Friday the 9th, and we're closed Saturday the 10th for Arts in the Park, which also canceled, the craft group, which meets on the every Saturday. Our Friends of the Library traditionally hold their biannual book sale that weekend as well, and that went well. I proctored 4 exams this month. This is a free service that the library provides, whereby as part of my state certification, I can administer exams to students who are doing online school or taking recertification for licenses like real estate or online classes. We also offered classes on email basics, internet basics, our ebooks checkout service called Georgia Download Destination. We offered those this month, and we have an iPad session coming up on Thursday. I got to go out into the community this month by visiting a Head Start in Mineral Bluff to read stories to the classes during the Fall Festival. And then I represented the library at the Kiwanis Community Services Conference. I've also been able to meet with some of the administration and library staff at the new North Georgia College satellite campus, and we have hopes to partner together to provide maximum resources for the students. And later this week, I'll be going back to the Head Start to read more stories, and the library will also be participating in the Safe Zone downtown on TV. We have our quarterly local board meeting this Thursday the 29th. This meeting is open to the public, so you're all welcome to attend. Do you have any questions?
Mr. Johnson?
How are you looking for next year as far as your funding and your hours? And are you looking like you'll be able to maintain the same amount of hours next year?
We're hoping to. That depends on you guys. You have, what was submitted for our budget.
Right.
Yeah, we should be able to hold steady though. God willing, the creek don't rise.
That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Ken, you wanna? You can tell us what you're doing today.
I'm Kim Petty. I'm over in maintenance. We're just finishing up, like Michael said, the crash going time of the year, which is our busiest time to try to stay up on things. So we're now starting to go into winter mode, and we'll be able to start making sure all the heat's on all the stations, get everything changed from aero to heat. And also some of the projects that we've been wanting to do that we haven't had time to do or manpower to do with. We've got the roof for the jail was delivered last Friday. Talked to the guy today. He said weather permitting, we're gonna start on it tomorrow and try to get it underway so it kind of dries out, can't drill no holes in the roof. We've got some projects that we're wanting to do, like down at Horseshoe Bend. We're gonna go down and shoot some grade and try to get some places set up for some pavilions on the creek side down there where the field is, and try to get coordinated with the road department and get some dirt to fix that up with. And we're ready. Other than that, we're just trying to get caught up from what we've gotten behind on through the summer months.
Mowers doing pretty good out at the rec department.
They are.
Maintenance been kept up pretty good on
Yeah.
cleaning.
Agreed.
Agreed.
We have had a problem down Horseshoe Bend with beavers, so we're trying to figure out what to do with that. So we're.
Call John.
We didn't talk to him. And we're trying to figure out what to do with it.
There you go.
Hopefully we'll get that took care of before they do everything up down there.
How are y'all doing with manpower in your department? Are y'all got enough people to go around and maintain everything?
Actually, we need another one. I talked to John as far as the guys at the park. We're going to coordinate. He's going to maybe take over them two guys out there since he's there more time than I am at the park. But we could use one more to help us, especially in the summer months. Man, we push so bad in the summer months, we can't take caught up. There's no way. And you can't send one with more because of safety reasons. You need at least have two people with more. And so if Jim and I both go mow, get started, then we get a call. We got to go fix something here, go fix something there. So we're stretched to the limits as far as manpower. Also, next year we're probably going to be needing to look at a vehicle to be able to pull the mowers with. Our little truck is about pulled this last year. The lawnmower and the trailer weighs probably half as much as the truck does. And it's just not capable of doing it. It doesn't got to be a new mower, new truck, but something bigger than what we got to take care of that. But yeah, manpower would help out. We could use one more person to help us. And as far as the park, I'm sure they're probably going to need some in the park when it comes down to that. That's a lot of mowing and weed eat for a couple of guys.
No.
Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, I'm Nicole from the Arts Association. Currently we have 1,000 members. We host about 5 artist guilds. What we have on exhibit right now is our Stage National Jury Show. We recently hosted our opening reception 2 weekends ago, and we had 175 individuals at the Arts Center that evening. The show itself represents 16 different states, or artists from 16 different states, with 129 2D pieces and 25 3D pieces. Arts in the Park, if you missed it. Saturday was painful and rainy, but Sunday really made up for it. It was one of our highest Sundays attended. We had an estimated 6,500 individuals throughout the entire weekend. That includes paid, unpaid children, comp, vendors, so on and so forth. The Arts Center on average is open about 52 hours a week, and all events there are free of charge. We are donation based. We host the Business Association monthly, the Master Gardeners, as well as our artist guilds. And then we have ongoing classes, which are dance and music. We currently have photography, painting. We had a nationally recognized artist come and do a demo and workshop. And we do Zentangle, it's a fun class. And we even host yoga. In total, we've had 12 classes just in the last month. And that is pretty much what's going on in the Arts Association.
All right.
Questions?
The amount of people that's in town for the Arts in the Park, does the money stay in town or does it leave town?
Usually the money stays in town. A lot of our artists are local. I would say at the very least it's about 50% artists that are regional. So within the artists themselves, but a lot of them, we tend to ask the vendors, we have an evaluation form that we send out, and we ask them if they have eaten at any of the restaurants downtown, please list them, hotels they stay at. And then we tend to do block rates for a lot of the hotels. It's tough in October because it is our high season, but we do have quite a few dollars coming through. Yeah. And just the, I mean, you can tell parking too. In the car, we can't find parking downtown to left. We try our best to minimize it with our vendors and moving them up now to Blue Ridge Elementary as much as
We
possible.
can move back to the Sears parking lot there.
Yeah, that's my lovely drive home on the side of the road. But yes, it does try to stay local. We encourage, and in fact, when they check in, we give all at the gates and also checking with vendors, we provide all the local businesses. So we try to keep it local.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh?
Good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good job with the weekend, to be able to recover from that rainy Saturday.
50 bales of hay out in that park.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm a city girl who learned how to work with hay.
Mr. Goodwin,
You're gonna skip me, boss.
My name is John Rollinger, Director of Animal Control, rank Supreme Allied Dog Commander. Okay, don't laugh, I worked harder than that. All right, from our last meeting from September 22nd to October 26th, we took in 28 new dogs. The disposition of those were 9 went to Tri-State Pet Rescue, 12 were reclaimed by the owner, 1 went to Blue Ridge Humane Society, 1 was adopted outside of the facility, 1 died at the vet, and 4 are still at Fannin County Animal Control. The numbers at a brief glance, that was just the last month, but year to date, up until yesterday, we've taken in 253 dogs total. 146 were pulled out by Tri-State Pet Rescue, 59 were reclaimed by owners, 8 to the Humane Society, 2 were put down because they were too mean to be adoptable, 1 died at the vet, 15 were adopted from our facility, 1 went to Golden Rescue, 1 died in the kennel, 1 was transferred to Coe Animal Hospital, and 18 of those are still at the facility. What we've been working on, we've continued working on the downtown adoptions, weather permitting on Saturdays for Tri-State, transporting the dogs, working in conjunction with them. We're continuing our building improvements. We've got new ceiling put in the front room after the tiles were caved in, and Ken and Jacob put new ceiling in, so we're fixing that room up. We're operating well within our budget. We've had 2 surprise inspections from the Ag Department this month and passed both of them 100%. And our Facebook page has become a very good outlet getting dogs back to the owners, letting people know what we have down there as well, as working on the newspaper and the radio. We've got 1,900 likes now, and we're reaching thousands of people weekly that way as well. The only thing we're short on right now that we could use, we've had in our budget now, is a capital outlay. Our new truck still needs a new dog box on. We've been using the old dog box off of the backup on-call truck. The new box, we're operating with a 4-dog box right now, and we can upgrade to the 6-dog box. That would save a lot on mileage and wear and tear going back and forth to the vets, the adoptions, when we're out on call getting dogs, and then we can move the 4-dog box back onto the other truck. So, if you guys see fit and want this year, that's fine. If you want to roll it till next year, that's all right too. Any questions?
This 6-dog box, did G&M and Iron make those?
They can. They made the 4-dog box we have now. We found it was more cost efficient to have it made here in town, keep the money in town as opposed to buying what's called store-bought box off of all the sites that we researched.
What is a 6-dog box? How much? You have any idea?
No, there won't be much more than the other one. It's going to be the same size. We're just going to reconfigure it so we can get a couple more smaller containers in there for extra hauling.
Are all of them made of aluminum?
Plus, yeah.
Get eaten up?
No, we had a bulldog pull some of the wires off one of them, but we had that replaced very inexpensively.
Mr. Johnson?
So you said you had 12 reclaimed by the owner?
Those 28 that we got from September 22nd to October 26th. Basically since last time we were up here.
How long is it taking for some of the owners to find out
is that a pretty quick process for all the reclaimed animals?
Most of the time, more times than not, it is. Most people do come looking for their dogs. We've had some people that maybe thought their dog, they told us they thought their dog had been killed, so they hadn't come forward till they saw it in the paper or on social media. But most of the time, people come looking for it pretty quick.
And your current population is 18?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thanks, sir. Who we missed? Come on, Chief.
County Fire Chief. Anyway, we've had a busy month. Last month was real busy. We answered 20 fire calls, 96 rescue calls. We'll kind of move on down. We also had a big day that Saturday that we had calls in the park. We, had pretty good representation there. And also at the community gathering they had over at the fairgrounds, at the Kiwanis Fairgrounds. And then the same day, we teamed up with CERT and Red Cross and installed 52 smoke detectors in people's houses across the county. In fact, we had one that was installed, actually 3 in the house that was installed on Noontula Creek Road. I think you know where that's at, way out to the south end of the county. But anyway, I would like to make this announcement, that rescue truck that we're looking at buying. The Tri-State Methodist men is sponsoring a barbecue for us. They want to help pay for that truck. They've stepped up, and on November the 14th, at the community hall out in Epworth is where they're actually going to hold that barbecue. We are selling tickets currently for it, but I think November 5th is when we're going to stop selling tickets. But you'll be able to buy barbecue there too, if you don't get a ticket. So, but all the proceeds from this barbecue that the Tri-State Methodist men are putting on for us will go towards that rescue truck. And while I'm on that rescue truck, I know y'all approved to go ahead and pay the shipping on it, which was going to be like $1,650. But we're going to do it for about $1,000 cheaper by flying the 2 out and letting them drive it back. I did want to bring that one up because we are saving $1,000 at least by doing that. The fire department's been real busy as far as schools. We've already went out to the Learning Depot with the fire prevention program. East Fannin, West Fannin, Blue Ridge Elementary, and Milestone. And then as far as with these other small events that we're helping with on these 5K runs. But it has been busy. Station 1, the new Station 1, it's coming along pretty good up there. Actually, you can see from up there now, there's hardly any trees left. We did recently just put a new roof on the Fire Station 3 up on Noontula, which is the Noontula voting precinct. And we're all dry again up there, so that's all I've got.
Good your month, isn't it?
How's your talk doing over here?
Good.
We're sold up.
Yeah, they're still here.
That's the biggest tent in the city.
One of the oldest, too.
Build our line. Parker going north.
Somebody did say something about that ham the other day. In fact, I think I got interviewed the other day by Fetcher News. I just happened to walk into them down there at the coffee shop, and that was brought up. And I think we've changed colors now, ain't we? We're not blue anymore. Are we red or are we Tyvek? I said Tyvek. So,
Whatever it is beautiful from there.
if you go to Google Earth, it shows the blue one on Google Earth right now.
A quick question I forgot to ask Robert here. On these weekends when, we have a base population here, and what I got to wonder last week, on the weekends, trying just to get through Blue Ridge to maybe go towards the Hemptown area or to 60 or Aspen,
I mean, this place is packed. I mean, the density of people throughout the county grows so much on the weekends. How thin do we get spread on some of these weekends? That's a question I would like to ask you. As far as, I mean, I know we have agreements with other people in case we need support or help or whatever. But how thin does our resources get spread on some of these where, I mean, I would guess our population sometimes close to doubles maybe on a given weekend when all these events, I mean, when you start at Mercier's and start coming this way and all the events on Aspen and Tootley, I mean, there's a lot of people to keep safe and healthy. I mean, how thin do y'all get spread sometimes? I mean, does it get, because I think y'all do a good job juggling is what I'm trying to say.
Just as we come into the meeting hall, you know, all the ambulances is tied up. And then, 5-10 minutes after the meeting started, we had one that would come in service again. But yeah, it does get busy. It does get somewhat.
But for future, you know, us being such a popular tourist destination, what do we need to look at as in the future? I mean, because some of these weekends, they're growing so fast. I mean, but you know, everybody says Mercier's, but it's just what you drive by. I mean, the line on Highway 5 keeps getting longer and longer and longer down Highway 5. And, I mean, that just shows everyone how many more people are coming here every year, whether it be word of mouth. I mean, a lot of it, I chalk it up to the chamber and get the news out there, but do you ever get spread so thin? I mean, how often do we have to get assistance? Or are y'all doing a pretty good job with our forces?
Yeah. Well, I feel like we are, you know, as far as that goes. It gets a little, we're stressed and most all the time. Safety, yeah, it can be a little treacherous trying to get down Highway 5, especially in the 2-lane portions of it when the traffic's backed up. But, you know, it's been to where both the oncoming traffic and the traffic that we're falling in behind is actually giving us room to get through it. But as far as being short on any calls, I don't feel.
I mean, I'm not saying short on calls, but being spread out with more people, how big of a much bigger impact does it have on some weekends? Do y'all notice that?
Right. Well, this last past Sunday, Saturday was all the events that we had downtown. Sunday, thought, well, it'd be a laid-back Sunday, but it wasn't. Not for the Highway 60, and we had 2 motorcycle wrecks. We flew 2 patients out within an hour of each other. With 2 different motorcycle wrecks. And usually, you know, they get on Highway 60. One was on this side of Will Scott, and then the other one ended up being just on the other side of Skinny Gap. But we landed the first helicopter at East Fannin Elementary, and while we was there, they paged out another motorcycle accident, which was just past Skinny Gap, and then we ended up landing that helicopter that come in after that patient in the field or the airstrip there at Double Gap. But we've got, people that's.
You got other resources, other counties, man.
Oh, that we could call on. Yeah, we do put them on standby.
If they're not just like we are, you know.
You have anything to add to that, Robert?
Yeah, I'm just going to say the extra crew that y'all allowed us to put on for the 12 hours a day has made a huge difference. And without them this year, I think we would have gotten in a real bind several times. We may in the next year or so need to look at increasing that to a full 24-hour truck. They've made a huge difference, a huge impact.
My purpose in asking, so you know, is a lot of people in this county, you know, we have our base population, but I want everybody to know what a good job y'all do as far as covering the extra people that come here on the weekend, because I mean, you know, some of the bigger cities, they might be overstaffed, you know, they're able to handle these situations, but us in Fannin County, you know, we're set up for 20-something thousand people. But any given weekend, that can turn into
30.
Lots. And I think it's good for everybody to know exactly what y'all do on these busy weekends, because a lot of us, like myself, I used to never think about that. That never used to enter my mind that we're going to have to provide safety for X amount more people than what our base population is. And I'd just like to tell y'all do a good job with it. And I'm glad to know that those extras that were put on were put to good use. And And the reason why I want to know is for future planning, with the growth that we're having, not only with building permits and what Keith has reported on, but the more people come this year, they'll go home and tell somebody, that many more people will come the next year. I think y'all more than anybody realize we need to kind of stay ahead of that curve and make sure we're servicing everybody we can.
I've seen a great deal more this year than we did last year this time.
Well, that's another thing I was just gonna say real quick, because Earl made the comment, there's so many more people. Well, Nicole said there was 6,000 that came through that Arts in the Park. At the same time, we had how many kids over at the high school, Lynn? There's another 5,000 over there, which some of them could have co-mingled and, come back and forth, but there was a band competition over there that had that many more people pretty much. So you've got...
We dedicated, let's do that. Yeah, we had people on scene for that, so that stood by, so.
Well, I don't want to blow your heads up, but I just want to tell y'all a good job. And I think everybody should, because the people like me that used to realize it, I never thought about having to service twice the amount of people. So, anyway, good job.
And I will say, all the support is greatly welcome with open arms.
Oh, okay. Bicycle control, hey.
Who done this? Four of them. Who done this, anybody? Did I miss anybody? I don't think so.
Charlie not coming, ever?
Okay, item number 6,
That'll be me.
Oriole Finance Report. That'd be you.
Since I'm the department head, I can do the financial report all at the same time. But since we are doing department heads and I can do my quarterly report all at the same time, the third quarter, end of the third quarter, budget status for the general fund is at 76.68% overall. The that percentage is a little bit above what it should be, like a 75%, but that will go down after SPLOST, roads and bridges, and the 911 reimburse the general fund for the payroll and benefits, the portion of payroll and benefits that we come up with at a later date. The revenue collections for the third quarter is at 43.75%. Historically, anywhere from 56 to 60% of the county's revenues collected in the fourth quarter due to tax bills and state and federal funds that come in at the end of the fiscal year. Of course, tax bills have just gone out, I believe. The current unrestricted funds in the general fund is $3.5 million. Our SPLOST budget's at 48.12%. That will increase when we transfer money from SPLOST and roads to the general fund for payroll and benefits. And when we do our transfer, and basically what we'll do is, in all likelihood, the amount that we determine that's eligible for transfer, we will not take that amount out. It'll be just determined of what is eligible, and then we'll decide, the Board of Commissioners will decide how much funds that together we will need to build up the general fund back up. And the same thing with the 911 fund. Current funds available in SPLOST is $2.6 million. SPLOST capital, of course, has been designated for the new fire station and the 911 facility. We've spent $494,000 at the end of September, and the current funds available in the capital projects fund amount is $1 million. Any questions?
We've worked totally off of, those SPLOST has not been touched. We've worked off of, general fund about all year, no?
The whole year, our general fund is, at the end of September, in the general fund, roads and bridges, we are over budget by about $300 and something thousand, and probably a little more by now, but that is totally working off of the money budgeted through the general fund for certain items and 100% payroll. So once we sit down and formulate and finalize our formulation of our plan on how we're going to refund the general fund from SPOS, then of course we can average that back out, or percentage-wise, coincide it with whatever y'all decide is the best way you want to put it in place. So yeah, but we're actually doing really good.
You know, we're doing real good for the amount of money that we've spent and all the work that's been done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with this financial report. Myself.
You got that, compare this year to last year, you don't have last year's figures in it.
I don't have them, well,
Okay,
what do you want to know? I could probably tell you, like, as far as like revenues coming in, we're above average on revenues coming in for SPOS. We are a little bit above average revenues coming in for the general fund. As far as money's going out, we are about the same as money's going out, but our budget was a little less in 2014 than it was in 2015, so you kind of have to gauge that accordingly. But on an average, we are ahead from this time last year in our revenues, even not paying back the general fund, the SPOS money. We're about $300,000 ahead.
And that comes from all these department heads who speak being frugal with their money. In case anybody's wondering, because just 2 years ago we heard about how we never had these reports and how everyone was one way or another accused of not keeping up with it. And by what we're doing now, what we're talking about is right here in front of each and every one of you. She's able to give that report, and the reason why these numbers are where they are at is because of frugal people that work in this county. And we'll never have anybody brag on them for doing that, but the minute they spend $1 over, it'll be breaking news. But just so everyone knows, everyone's being pretty frugal right now, and that was the whole basis of us starting this. So it's working pretty good for everybody, especially the taxpayers. That's all I have.
Some of these departments haven't used much more than half what their budget was from last year, pretty much all of it. There's one or two here that's went over, but that's the paving mostly that we've done.
Yeah, that's the, when you're looking at the general fund, the road department,
Exactly.
that is like maybe 300,000.
312,
Yeah,
42.
well, considering what
But-
the payroll is and how many employees we have in the road department, then.
But you've got a bunch of department heads that take care of their departments and take care of their county. I'm very proud of them. Very proud of them. They've continued doing this for quite a while, and they're good stewards of the money. I thought all of it.
Okay, the next is public commentary. Who wants to be first on that?
So I might cry just a
State
little.
your
My name is Daryl Ann Turner. Daryl. I have a home in Morganton, Georgia. I've been a resident, I don't know if I consider myself as a resident because I am also in Florida. So I'm here probably 4 to 7 months out of the year. I also had a business in Blue Ridge, Georgia for 3 years. I sold it last year. I had a little incident with some animals I rescued yesterday, and I like to surrender them to the Fannin County Animal Shelter, which is usually not open after noon, and I went there before noon, was able to get in the building, unable to get in the building for a half an hour, and I continuously called for 45 minutes, was unable to reach anybody or leave a message. because the message box is full. So I left and waited on the rescue that I was going to meet. Got the puppies were bigger than what I thought, and they were wild and a little aggressive, and all they wanted to do was bite and run. So finally, after several phone calls, I was able to get the county commissioner's phone number and talk to a lady named Sandy Davis. She assured me that somebody would be there within minutes to Fannin County Animal Shelter, and Mr. Patterson showed up within 5 minutes and began to insult my intentions. I parked in the wrong area. I had the wrong license plate on my car because it's a Florida tag. If I want to do rescues, I should buy land, put a fence around it, and build a building. And then I should be the rescuer. Or I should contact them to allow them to come pick up the animal. That's not how it works. There's a square on the form that says stray. These animals were strays. They're not my animals. I got involved. I volunteered. I didn't have a fenced-in yard. I don't have a fenced-in yard, so I was unable to help the situation. The lady had the other 3 puppies because there was a total of 5. She showed up minutes later. I told her, do not park in the back. At that time, Mr. Patterson listened to the whole entire phone call because I put it on speaker. I didn't want her to be insulted the same way I was insulted, because he assured me there was 3 signs, and how could I miss 3 signs and pull in the back of the building? I said, never mind about the parking, I'll move. He said, no, don't bother. And I said, well, we just wanted to park close to the door because they had already pooed and puked and peed in the back of her car. So she pulled out front by the front door. We walked out front. I drove around, opened my hatch again, went to get the carrier out of the car. Mr. Patterson informed me, do not bother. He wanted to know who was going to fill out the paperwork. I pointed at Mary because the dogs were rescued by her first. He then took Mary into the building. I took the puppies out of my car in the crate, set the crate by the building, got in my car, shut the door, and started to cry like a baby. Called Mrs. Davis back, Sandy Davis, told her the punishment that I just went through by Mr. Patterson. I didn't want any apologies, I just wanted her to know that that was uncalled for. And 15 minutes later, Mary called and said he denied to leave the puppies there. The puppies are now back in the woods, wandering wild. Now, when I say puppies, I'm saying puppies like a 20-pound puppy, an 18-pound puppy. So they went out, they were unreachable, uncatchable today. We do not have the other 3 puppies. Tri-County, Jan went today and picked up the other 2 puppies that I left there yesterday, so she has picked those other puppies up. So I guess my point of this whole thing is Mr. Patterson was rude to me, and I'm not here to punish or bring that up, but if we can't have that building open from 12 to 5, Monday through Friday, and maybe 9 to 1 Saturdays, maybe we need an outside drop box, so we can at least put the puppies, dogs, in a box. If we can't have respect dropping off an unwanted, uncontrolled stray when we do it, then somebody else needs that job because he is mean. And I have worked with John, and I'm sorry I can't pronounce his last name, or I would call him Mr. Dillinger, whatever his name is. But I have never, in 35, that's it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen, my name is James Turner. I have a home that I pay taxes on that I own in Morganton. My wife and I have had a business here in Blue Ridge. And I'm here because Mr. Patterson showed us disrespect when we were trying to do something good. My wife and I have rescued animals ever since we were married 30 years. There's not one of our friends or relatives that don't have a dog, cat, or bird that we've rescued and found a home for. What upset my wife was Mr. Patterson told her that she had no business by capturing, rescuing, or doing what we do. And I think it's, God put us here to rescue these animals that we domesticated and then let them go. These puppies, it's not their fault. We try to find and do the best thing for them. Mr. Patterson basically did not want to do his job. He asked where the dogs came from. He kept on wanting to put them in another county. He made a comment later on that we were from Florida. If everybody from Florida left, this would be a ghost town. It's just the whole respect that we got from him was zero. And I think the man needs to be replaced. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, Dan. Kimmy.
I wish they would.
I'm Jan Eaton, and I am with Tri-State Pet Rescue in Blue Ridge, so I'm in animal control almost on a daily basis, and I am astounded that the department head stood here and told you that the only equipment he needs is a new box on the back of that big red truck that they drive around town all the time. As a resident taxpayer rescuer, I'm here to tell you there's a lot more equipment that's needed at animal control. And I have spoken with each of the commissioners, and I've spoken with Mr. Drollinger, and as of today, no equipment has been bought that is necessary over there. There is no, quote, rated number for that particular building. There may be 18 runs over there, but there is no law that says there can only be 18 dogs there. So therefore, I believe it's time for you to invest in at least one or possibly two banks of stainless steel cages. And if you don't know what I'm talking about like 3-tier stacked stainless steel cages like every other animal control facility in the state of Georgia that's worth its salt has. Because I'm disgusted with going in that facility and seeing dogs sitting in crates on the floor with no pans in the bottom of the crate, sitting on the wire on that nasty concrete. I'm sick of it. And I've spoken to every one of y'all about it, and I've spoken to Mr. Drollinger about it, and nothing has been done. Now, there's no cardinal number of how many dogs that building can hold. There's no reason why you cannot put a couple of banks of cages in there. And come to think of it, we're the only animal control facility that I know of that parks their truck in where the animals are. How about we remove that truck, put a garage outside for it, and use the building for the animals? That's a novel idea, and I think it's about time we do that. So, yeah, I'm pretty hot about it, because when he mentioned how many dogs had died in animal control, just a week or two ago, I picked up a litter of distemper dogs from animal control that were sick when they were put in my truck, and there were 6 puppies, and the mother dog we lost all except one puppy. And the vet bill will be coming for those, because those dogs were sick when they came in my truck, and I'm not real happy about that. Now, I looked at the budgets for the last 3 years, and Rita Kirby is just joining on the spot when I ask for stuff, and she's having to deal with me, and bless her heart, but she keeps laughing and smiling, and she's very nice to me, and I appreciate that. But looking at the budgets, you know, back in 2013, we had 3 full-time employees and 1 Saturday boy, as he was called by the animal control employees. And the budget for for salaries at that time was $105,338. And at the end of that year, we could spend $113,138.86. Now, we are down to 2 full-time employees, and the building's never unlocked when we go by there, because we were guaranteed it would be open 9 to 12, which it almost never is. And so therefore the public has no access. But with 2 full-time employees now, we're budgeting $115,000 for salaries. I want to know how you square that. Did they get a big pay raise when that 3rd employee was gone, or what happened there? When I ask a few questions talking about being frugal, I don't think that's being very frugal if you had 3 employees at $113,138.86, and now we're budgeting $115,000 for 2 employees. So I can't quite square that. And then I understand that once they work over 40 hours, they're paid overtime, which I'm going to presume is time and a half. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Wouldn't it be frugal guys, if it's a regular job and you know that those animals have to be fed every day, that's not really overtime, that's just part of the job. Why don't we hire that third person back? And then we might be able to keep the doors open so the public can be met and greeted when they need to get in there, just like Ms. Turner was talking about. Many times I go by there and I have to call to get somebody to unlock when I'm going over there to pick up dogs. Because we're moving them. We are moving those dogs out of there in a hurry. I've got another transport Thursday and another one next week. So we're moving the dogs, but I think if you've got somebody coming to pick them up, you should be able to at least get in the building. And the same dogs, contrary to what you might have read in the paper last week, the same dogs are not there every time because I move them and I know what's there. And so I would like, Mr. Finicum, for you to certainly make a note of that. It's not the same dogs because we're moving them en masse every week. So I want to see some supplies besides the bank of cages. I think we need to have cages for them, the crates for them to bring them out on Saturdays for adoption events instead of our group having to scramble and find crates to put them in. They come with dogs only, no crates, no nothing. So, and a question I have, I know you're not going to answer it, but I would like to know how many hours they're paid for when they work on Sunday. Are they paid for 8 hours for Sunday? When they go in and just feed and clean, it takes about an hour and a half or 2 hours. I know how much it takes. And are they being paid overtime for 8 hours, time and a half for 8 hours on Sunday, or are they just being paid time and a half for 2 to 3 hours while they're there feeding? And I would like an answer. I will request that under open records even now. This is an oral request. I would like to have the answer to that too. Thank you.
Ms. Eden,
Yes, sir.
you moved $146.
It's 148 because I picked up
Oh,
two
you
today.
picked up 2 today, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, that
Sorry.
is great. I mean, I admire you.
We've moved over
You-
600 dogs this year. We've moved 200 and something out of Gilbert County Animal Control. And today I visited 4 animal control facilities. And as one of our volunteers from Atlanta that came up last week told me when she went in, I had her go in and she goes, well, it's not the worst I've seen on our facility. We got to upgrade that. Come on, y'all. We got to make this thing something we can be really proud of. And I think it needs, I love working over there and working with those animals better than anything. And I just want us to be the best. We're the best at moving them, and I want us to be the very best animal control in North Georgia. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ms. Mallon?
Gentlemen, first off, before I start, I owe you an apology for walking off on you last weekend. That was rude and unacceptable. And I do apologize. I still believe I'm right. There's a big difference between 2 dogs barking at some livestock in the middle of the night and 34 100-pound plus Akitas, plus the puppies that have been born, plus 2 or 3 whelped and weaned litters on the ground, barking outside of my window. I know it's an abnormal situation. I know it's unusual. But I didn't ask for it when I moved here. They moved in on top of me. And you tell me there's nothing that can be done, altered, or modified to make some accommodation for people who want to sleep and enjoy? Chamber of Commerce advertises, come to the peace and tranquility of the mountains. I don't see it. I can't find it. All I'm asking, gentlemen, is that please help me make some accommodation so that my wife can live in the relative peace that she paid for when we moved here. And so that God knows she's sick. And she hadn't slept in 1.5 years, a whole night. I'm telling you, she has not slept a whole night in 1.5 years because of those damn dogs. But please, find it in your heart to do something for her. If you can't tolerate me. But there's other people in the county too. I just found out, about a lady in Oregon with 10 German Shepherds outside her window here a while back. I found out about 5 more people that have complained about similar situations. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't complain. It's in an generally not recognized as residential areas. What is the definition of that law? There is no definition of that in the county ordinances. The only way it's referred to is in the animal control ordinance. There has to be a solution to this problem. and I have a right to enjoy the rest of my life.
Thanks, Mr. Miller. Anyone else? Mr. Henry?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I just wanted to revisit, I'm Roger Henry, I live on 55 Anderson Way, just off Asco Road. I wanted to revisit this setback issue with you, answer any questions that you might have, just generally see where we stand. If we stand, if there have been any decisions made, or is there a
You
direct...
email this gentleman, Keith.
Approximately 4:45 this afternoon, I
Should
think.
have an email.
Okay.
But,
Can you tell us what's happening there?
Okay. Mr. Henry knows all about this because I've talked with him. Met with Mr. Lawrence Minor. He agreed to take it back, that 11 foot.
Uh-huh.
That's what you wanted, that's what you agreed with then.
Well, that's what you and Jody proposed as a solution, and I'd be very happy with that.
Exactly, what's what I said, you agreed with. And Mr. Minor has agreed to take it back to that.
Okay.
His construction crew has been tied up on other jobs, has not been able to jump right on it. So, we're just waiting till they have that opportunity.
Well, the last communication I got from you on September the 22nd is that you talked to him, he was amenable, good luck. Basically, that's what it said. You said,
I can go get the email right
I have
now
it
from my
right here on my
computer.
phone if you want to see it.
It said that Mr. Minor was very agreeable
Exactly.
to all the stuff we had talked about, just, so. He was
You
very
remember what else we
agreeable.
said that day?
Hmm?
I told you it would be very agreeable to me if we could get a letter of agreement between the two of us, specifying a date for that to be done, and that we were both in agreement on it. All I've got is conversations.
Okay. He has agreed to take it back. I don't know when it will happen.
Well, that's no agreement at all, in my opinion.
At this point, I have no more authority in this situation.
Well, I assumed that, that's why I came over here. I'm looking for...
All right,
Okay.
all right, so then just talk to us.
Okay, okay.
that fence where the deck was pre-existing from '06, you and I talked about it.
Well, there was...
And they've redone the deck. That thing is grandfathered in, and if the gentleman is willing to have 11-foot setback, and you told me that you would agree with that.
Absolutely.
So that's an issue that you and he needs to work out.
Is that a variance on file that was ever approved?
I don't believe there was ever a construction permit
That was
issued.
all one piece of property at one time. The bank separated that part.
And that's why you could argue that, you know, grandfathering really doesn't apply, because one guy owned it all. There was nobody to push back on that now.
Exactly. He could do building if he wanted to build to the other end of it.
But now there is, and that's what I'm here.
So when you bought the property, was that deck there, and was that the property line?
There probably was a 10 by 10 foot deck there, but there's probably in excess of a 400 foot deck there. It's been added onto all the way across the property line.
After you purchased it?
Yes, sir. I bought my property in May of 2011. He bought his sometime after that. Now, I mean, I've got I believe, Mr. Sobey, that this is the same plat you were looking at from 2006.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 10 by 10 foot deck, 100 square foot deck, and as I recall, it was about a foot and a half off the ground. It was, you know, you wouldn't even notice it if you were looking over there. Now this is huge with, I'm really feeling crowded over there. And,
You bought your property in May of 2011.
yes, sir.
Let's simplify this process.
Okay.
You purchased in May 2011.
Right.
This deck that's there now that you're talking about was not there then.
No.
Since May in 2011, the neighbor purchased the property.
Sometime, yeah, I don't know when.
And since that time, he has commenced to build, how big a deck you can say?
It's got to be over 300 square feet, maybe 4. I don't know. I don't want to go over there and measure it because I'm not,
Okay.
haven't been invited over it.
So at what point did you realize this was a problem? I mean, because the first time you spoke, it was on your property, and he took it up.
No, I took it off.
You took it up, oh.
Yeah.
And so it's
I took it
still,
right back
where
in.
does it exist now? If
It's
this piece
right-
of paper is the property line, where is the date? If this is your property,
Right there. Right, it's on the property line.
because you took it off to the property.
Yes.
Okay.
Keith told me initially that if I would get a new survey done and get the property line nailed down, that he would have him take it back 15 feet. Well, that never happened. But I'm telling you, 11 feet would just make me a very happy man. But please, I would like, I've found Mr. Minor to be, he'll agree with you on lots of stuff, but I'd like to, could we please get a letter in place that both of us sign that says it'll be done by the end of the year? He had a crew down there working today, so I know they're back on the job. I mean, the end of the year is, more than 2 months from now. I think that's fair.
So,
Keith, Ms. Dawes, come up with some kind of generic letter that he needs to sign, and then get it signed and date it, be done by so and so and so.
We'll agree to
That'd be
11
it.
foot setback.
Gentlemen, I appreciate it.
That'd be it.
Thank you.
Okay.
11 foot.
11 foot setback is what.
11-foot setback.
Yes, sir, that's what Keith proposed, and I agree with him.
Good. Keith will help you write something up. Okay? Be done by that certain day.
why does the county get involved in this matter? Hold on a minute. Is that what you two want to do? Because that's what you're going to do, vote on it going. Because I'm not in favor of that. I'm in favor of giving the guy 11-foot variance. Him removing it, county keeping our attorney, not have to pay her dime for writing a letter. Not having to get Keith involved any bit more. If they're agreement with 11 foot, we grant them a variance. If the other guy applies for it, we sign it and it costs nobody anything. If she writes a letter, we're gonna have to pay for a letter. I say the county don't pay one dime if they're in agreement with 11 foot. And we give them an 11-foot variance, that's what the guy brings it back to. And Keith makes sure it's taken back that point because he doesn't have a variance right now and he's already encroaching. And then it costs nobody anything.
I'll write the letter.
He's happy, everybody's happy, we don't pay an attorney to write a letter.
I'll charge you a dime.
Go ahead on, Bill.
I think that's the right solution.
So,
You're gonna
I
let
just don't want the county involved in it. I
I
want
don't
somebody
either.
to give a variance.
I want out of it. But we,
Okay, so let's.
Well, let's observe these ordinances that we got in place, and I'll be just as happy as I feel. And, I would think that it would be germane here that he didn't even apply for a permit to put that in. Now, that's not my business.
But if you're in agreement with 11 foot, you would be happy with 11 feet?
You'll never hear from me again about that.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, that's what I would move this to do. Get the guy to apply for his variance, go through the steps, he'll tear that thing back, and then it's recorded, so if he sells his property, the next guy can't say it's not 15 foot back. That'd be,
That's right, there's no cloud on anybody's property, nothing. All right. But it's been my experience, sir. I mean, I've been in management for 40 years. If we don't have dates and actionable items to be achieved by those dates, very few things ever happen. So that's why I'm asking for some sort of actionable thing to be put in place, a letter or something.
so Mr. Nicholson, can you contact Mr., what's his
Minor.
name, Minor?
Yes.
If you don't get paid no extra contact.
well, is he in town? Is he in town now?
I don't know. His crew was down there working today, but he has a residence over near Fannin Regional and still one in Ohio. He doesn't live in that place at all. It's my understanding he's fixing it up to be a rental car.
So he
See if you
can,
can get with him. Have a flyover variance, we give him 11-foot variance. That's it.
If I need, I'll get a hold of his contractor. His contractor can apply for that variance.
Okay. Anyone else? Public commentary is closed. Okay, I guess we'll go down here. Larry and Ken and all stole most of my thunder here, but anyway, we're getting ready next week to wash down the courthouse here in the jail, get that mold off of it and that sort of thing. Guys, hopes to get on that next week. And Larry said, like I say, the site over at the new 911 center is come on real well. I think there's more timber there than I thought there was. And anyway, they've been hauling it out in truckloads, so that's moving on pretty well. And got some material back here for the jail roof, and it's on site, so that's getting ready to start. We got a number of firehouses, 14. We have some leaks there. And, firehouse number 9, they want some more space out there. So Keith and I are going to go down there and look at that. Fire station 13, they got one side of that needs framed in and that sort of thing. So we're just all kind of stuff going on that we're trying to work on. So, and that's basically what I got. Mr. Johnson, you want to go next? You want Mr. Sobel?
Mr. Johnson go next, and I'll let you last.
well, I'm glad we made it through our second department head report. It's been very productive, I believe. I continue to learn more and more about what they're doing, and it's going to help me understand more and more what they're going to need in the future. What we're going to do about getting all our department heads here, though? We've got one that I don't think he's ever going to come. This is the second meeting that's missed. I would kind of like to talk about roads tonight. Because we talked about talking about roads, we're talking about it for 8 months.
His motor's blowed up in his truck.
Huh?
His motor's blowed up in his truck.
Did he make it work today? Was he made none?
Yeah.
Did he get an email, Ruth, do you know?
I spoke with Michael today, because I don't have an email address for Mr. Collins. And so I spoke with Michael today and told, or Michael Collins told him that all department heads were to be here tonight.
Well, this is the second one in a row missed, so please record that in a minute, and the next one will be 3. Because it's really going to do any of us no good if we don't ever talk about these roads. We're not going to be able to talk about roads if the road superintendent chooses to continue not to come to our meeting. So, I don't know. There's still some kinks we're going to have to work out of our system. But I would love for you to record that I would make a valiant effort to try and get our road superintendent here within the next month's meeting. All these people chose to come because they were asked to come. And I don't think anyone is any different. So, I would like to talk about some roads tonight, though, because I doubt it'll be at the next one either. On our roads to be paved, I get calls a lot of people trying to understand paving priorities and lists in Fannin County. And I would like if some of the media would get some of these lists, because it would help us get the word out there what is planned on being paved. But what we plan on being paved, sometimes the biggest misunderstanding is we have a certain amount of money to work with every year, and the length of these roads are different. So that means the amount of money it's gonna take to do these roads is gonna be different. So sometimes we don't have enough money, we have to move roads around. But number one on the list right now is Greenhouse Road. The length is .90 miles and there are 15 homes on it. Is this, number two would be Inslee Road, 1 mile and 1/10 with 18 homes. And so let's just go through the top five if the board would please tonight. Because it's been 8 months coming, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna go into 2018 and never talk about it. Hidden Valley Road, .60 miles, 30 homes. So Hidden Valley to me, with 30 homes, has the least amount of length paved to serve the most amount of taxpayers. I would think what we need to consider is prioritizing maybe these, if we're gonna plan on paving maybe 5 to 6 miles of road a year of new paving, or whatever that amount is that the three of us can agree upon, that road should be moved to number one because it serves the most amount of people. It has approved plans by the EPD and it's the shortest road. So if the three of us, if y'all don't mind, we can kind of go through this very quickly and kind of prioritize for the next season so we can budget and we can plan for how much money we're going to need and which roads we're going to be first. That way when any of us field a call or any of you sitting out there wondering, what are you paving next year? We can answer that and answer it with firmness rather than, well, I think that thing got moved down. I mean, the one guy that wanted his road taken off, I think they moved to 58. I think. But what do you think about the first? Let's just say let's prioritize the first five. In what order would we want to go in? What are your
If you just take the houses, like on the road, it's got the most houses on it. Prioritize that way. Like you've got Sunset Road's got 50.
So Hidden Valley is probably a good start for the next year. Would y'all-
Hidden Valley and Ridgeview 2 is 30 and 31. That's 4, 3 and 4. Don't you want to?
So would y'all be in agreement with something that we could all three nail down so when people ask us, what are the top five for next year? As far as new paving, I'm not talking about researching, because, we have to be quiet with that. But as far as new paving, are y'all happy with those first five?
Hidden Valley Road, you want to go to number one, is that what you're saying?
Well, it's just either one you guys decide the ones with the most,
Houses?
like Inslee Road would be a good road, but it only has 18 houses, and it's 1 mile and 1/10 long.
Well, you got Sunset Road here, it's 1.2, and it's got 50 on it. Then you could trickle down from that point, you got your high, basically all your houses up there, and there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there, got your highest number of homes.
So the biggest two would be Sunset and Hidden Valley.
Ridgeview.
Hidden Valley, Ridgeview, yeah. Now, Hidden Valley, Ridgeview, pretty out there, top each other.
You prioritize those five, we're never gonna be able, I don't believe, to pave all five of them, but we get knock a dent in it. So I'd say that's first two, that Hidden Valley and Ridgeview, so 1 and 2.
Cash is fast, number 5 on there.
Yeah.
That old Cash Valley Road, the old talking about. We've got that pond to deal with on that.
So depending on what comes about with that pond, we look at that. I mean, so if y'all are happy with the top five, I'm happy with the top five.
Okay, I am.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so we're all in agreement, so anybody that asks, we have a list, and the top five are a top five priority, and everybody knows that now. And anybody that wants the names of those, can get them.
Would you read them, Earl, please?
Greenhouse Road, Inslee Road, Hidden Valley Road, Ridgeview Road, and Old Cassius Valley Road.
Thank you.
So can you put that on the county website? So, you know, maybe you could be responsible for getting some of the publicity out, you know, yourselves. I think that would be a good idea to put it on the county website.
So y'all are agreeing with those five?
Sunset's no longer in the top five.
This is number 6. So it's to be continued.
I don't want to throw a wrench in that, but two of them had the CDBG project beside that. I don't know what that involves, if that's money involved, and it's a possibility others could move up if we've got money that's coming in from a CDBG project. So
I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
some names and some streets out there. I get tired of getting asked what are the top ones on your list. Now everybody will know. If they don't hear their road name, they know they're not in the top 5.
Top 5. And as you get them done, you get them up.
So that was one of the things I would like to go over and finally talk about it. And I guess somebody can inform our road superintendent what we talked about tonight, and maybe give it smoke signals or whatever we want to do, since he doesn't have an email. Thank you to all the ones who did take the time and come. Thank you to each and every one of you. If I don't look at all of you, I appreciate you being here.
Superintendent's a guy named Collins.
Because this is how we're going to continue to get better. And each and every concern tonight will be addressed and looked into. Everybody needs to remember there's 2 sides to every story. So everything will be addressed, and I'm sure if need be, there'll be a response given. I'm glad to hear that we can work something out with your project, Mr. Watson. And that is winding down on all I have. I'm glad we went over some roads tonight. Look forward to going over some more. That's all I have. Thank you.
I'd also like to thank each and every one of you for showing up. And Ms. Aiken, I think that we need to look into these cages very much. I've been to some other kennels in other counties, they do have them. And I think we need them down there, and I think we need to look into them. And also, we need to look into maybe a third person out there to lengthen the hours. Mr. Ballard, I noticed you said that from last meeting's comments that 2 post commissioners was very uncaring about what you talked about.
Correct.
I assure you, sir, we're not uncaring. But, we don't know actually what to do about that according to the way the ordinance is read right now. I sympathize with your wife, and I hope soon we can get this resolved.
I would appreciate any help you can give her and other people that might be in a similar situation in the future, but I thank you for at least addressing it.
So, a lot of times we don't address something every meeting, but it ain't that we don't care. It is brought up another time, I promise you.
Well, it's just very hard for her, she at this point is becoming very despondent in her life.
But it's been a good meeting. We've learned a whole lot from our department heads. This has turned out to be a good thing, I think. It gets a lot of information out there where we're standing on what our balances or everything are through the department heads. And look forward to doing another one of these next month. So other than that, that's all I've got.
Anything else, Mr. Johnson? We need to go into executive session. We do. So I'll make a motion to go into executive session. Do I hear a second? Second.
For what reason, please? Can all this?
Personnel and legal issues.
For him, I'd be a little worried. He works for all three of us. I'm wondering if we're gonna have a real executive session. Did you really want me to come? Well, might as well, because our county attorney dictates what gets told out of executive session. Yeah, I wonder if the guy, all the witnesses should come in. Just walk back and speak to Don.
Are they talking any action from that session?
From what?
The executive session?
The executive sessions in Georgia are very limited in what they can discuss, and they cannot make any decisions. If they make a decision, they can do a straw vote, but they have to actually come back out here in front of all of us.
Yeah, but did they?
If no decision is made, we won't hear a word. And you gotta get up early.
Yeah.
That's where your head's going.
Well, yeah.
And that's 99% of the executive session. Yeah, because the talent will be after you tomorrow morning for being sleepy.
Yeah, exactly.
Call him that. Don't call him Ryan. Start calling him the talent.
Yeah, because that'll go over well.
Tell him I told you it was okay.
I guess I'm gonna get home.